So previously, I've made a video talking about how to get high HP in Deepwoken, and in that video, I mentioned doing Diluvian, in which you're obviously going to need a PVE build for. Well, in this video, I'm going to be giving you a PVE build that can solo Diluvian and bosses, which is the current PVE build that I use, which makes gathering DVM, HP kits, physical kits, and relics a lot easier. Even if you don't want to do Diluvian, having a PVE build makes gathering items so much easier. Plus, if you do decide to do Diluvian, the relics you obtain from Diluvian make creating builds so much easier via Moon's Eye Tombs, Center Ashes, Armor Manifestations, Armor and Needles, things like that. Now, for the race, you're going to want to be a Vesperian for the extra resistances, but if you don't have a Vesperian, any race should do just fine. Now for the stats, and I'm gonna have the stat order on screen because a lot of people like having the prog order for some reason. Pre-shine, you're gonna want to have 100 fortitude, 100 willpower, 50 intelligence, 1 in charisma, 1 in strength, and then 1 in gale breath, meaning you have to go do the gale breath quest to get gale. You can't just spawn with gale, which is slightly annoying, but it should be fine. And then after post-shrine, you're gonna want 30 strength, 85 fortitude, 5 agility, 25 intelligence, 75 willpower, 30 charisma, and 80 gale breath. Obviously, for the traits, you're going to want 6 vitality and 6 enchant. Now, for the talents, I'm going to show my talent list and then also tell the key talents you're going to want for the build. The key talents are going to be water off a duck's back, which I'll explain more of that later. Brick wall, reinforced armor, and then the other intelligence talents like Master Craftsman, Eureka, Ether Conduit, the prediction talents, Time to Go, Berserker, Full Reset, things like that. I'll have the build link in the description so you can just copy off of that or copy the talent list off of that. And the reason you want waters off a duck's back is for the 2 waves in Diluvian, wave 42 and wave 47. Both of those waves put you on suffocation, meaning you can't use mantras. With water off a duck's back, you can obviously vent off that status effect. Now, if you don't plan on doing Diluvian up to wave 50, you technically don't need water off a duck's back, but it is nice to have on waves where there's other Gale attuned monsters and you have no way of like casting mantras because you're hit with suffocation. You can vent off that status effect too. Plus prediction, you're gonna want prediction anyways. Now for the mantras, you're gonna want Tornado, Gale Punch, Twister Kick, Radiant Dawn, Astral Wind, Prediction, Blinding Dawn, Wind Passage, Reinforce. I forgot to mention that you also need Dawnwalker, but that was a given. The reason you want prediction is for the golems, because in which they spin, you can use prediction and then you're able to use monsters without having to worry about getting hit stunned. But other than that, prediction, that's all prediction does. That's all what prediction is used for. Obviously for the gems, you're gonna want a plus gem on quite literally everything except for prediction and reinforce. That also should be on screen. Now, the most important part of the build, the bell. What you're gonna want is Corrupted Insanity Downside Continuous Beam Payback. I'll say it slower in case you didn't hear me. Corrupted Insanity Downside Continuous Beam Payback. Obviously, you get the multiplication of damage, you get the lifesteal from the Corrupted, you get the Insanity, which procs Lose Your Mind and Piercing Will. And then, yeah. And then finally, for your enchant, you want a 3-star weight battle axe with either Providence Thorns or Detonation. You could use Astral, but Astral is just the worst Providence Thorns in regards of what it's being used for. So the most part, just take Providence Thorns or again, Detonation. Now, a couple things I like to add. Number 1, your equipment. I'm not gonna lie, I'm gonna showcase my equipment, but my equipment is some doggy fucking dick. I have like 40% DVM and like no monster armor. Obviously, you want a ring of casters and a diver's ring. You could use an Issuance ring if you would like to, but I go against it because you already take a lot of damage in the first place. I don't think it's that worth it. And yeah, that's actually pretty much all I have to say. That's all the build is. Once you have this lovely PVE build, your PVE shenanigans, getting HP kits should be a lot easier. Oh, side note, I've heard from a little birdie that they're nerfing Blinding Dawn's damage, so keep that in mind for the future. Again, I've heard this, my source is kind of iffy. He said that they were gonna nerf Prophet's Cloak and they didn't, so it could not happen. I'm not gonna lie to you, it could not happen. But for the most part, that's all I have to say for this video. If this video helped you, subscribe to my channel, join the Discord, follow me on Twitter. Y'all been showing me a lot of love. Like the video. I think hitting 2K by the end of the year, by the end of the month, is a very, very possible feat that we can accomplish. We just have to keep going. I need Agamasu to notice me, bro. This nigga been egoing me for years.